$1,000,000 advice for millennials. That is what we're doing here today, guys. I'm going to give you 5 huge money tips for every one of you millennials out there that will help you tremendously in the long run. And this video is not just for millennials. This video could really be for anybody of any age bracket. Apply these 5 things. They should help you out tremendously. Anyways, let's just get straight into it. The first piece of money advice I would give to every single millennial out there is realize that all these things that are wants in your life that you want to spend your money toward, realize that feeling is gonna wear off really quick once you get that thing, okay? So you want that shirt, you want that new phone, you want that new computer, you want that new TV. Realize that that feeling when you first buy it, it wears off literally within a few days or a few weeks, guys. It's incredible how fast it goes, okay? So, meaning don't go out there and spend all your money because you want this, you want that, all these type of things, guys. I'm just gonna tell you, it's a race to the bottom if you're living your life like that and you're spending every dollar because you want this and want that. You're chasing that feeling. It goes away so fast, guys. I've lost so many things in my life that, you know, I've been pretty disciplined in my life as far as what I spend money on, but there are times when I spend money on this and that and I'm like, oh, why did I even spend money on that? You know, it felt great for like the first day or two and I was like so proud I had that or whatever. And then after that, it wears off and it's like, okay, I just spent, you know, several $100s or several $1,000s or whatever on this thing over here when I could have just saved that money or invested that money or spent it on these other things that are probably much more of need items than want items or things that could actually produce you more income, okay? A lot of people spend so much of their money on things that actually take away from them, okay? You know, a television set, you know, Netflix, you know, a new gaming console and things like that. Yeah, it's fun entertainment, but just realize like that stuff's taking money from you. Literally, it's taking money from you because one, you have to spend the money on that stuff, right? The second piece is like that's less time you have to go out there and do new projects, you know, create passive income streams, you know, create this, create that. That's less time you have toward all that. So I understand like everybody needs a, you know, a segment of their time toward entertainment. Just understand in your mind that every time you do those activities and you spend money on those activities, just realize it's literally taking from you creating a lot more out there for yourself. The second piece of money advice I would give to every single millennial out there is realize that there are 2 routes you can go in this life as far as money goes. One is you can be your own boss and you can make yourself rich. Or you can work for somebody and make them rich. It's really 2 avenues. You either be a boss or you're a worker, okay? Now realize there's a lot more money out there for when you're being a boss, okay? Rather than a worker. And this is understandable, right? The boss takes the risk out there. You know, the boss risks their money, their time, everything like that. You know, the pressure, the stress and all that. It's kind of natural for them to make much more money, right? Whereas a worker, you just get a job somewhere and you're protected by all these laws and things like that. And you usually get health care and you get this and that. It's understandable that as a worker, there's not as much opportunity, okay? So you've got to understand, if you want to really go to the next level, if you want to really make big money in this world, you got to be a boss, man. You can't be a worker. If you're a worker, like it's probably not going to work out for you. There are some, you know, people that make it up all the way up the ranks, you know, and they get to that executive level and they start pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. If you have that type of ability and you think you can, you know, get in with people and you can get people to like you, you can get tons of promotions and whatnot over the years. If you think you can go that route, then that's definitely a route you can go, okay? I'm just gonna tell you that that's a very hard route because you got a million competitors competing with you in that space. Whereas when you're on your own boss, you can kind of like see something and be like, oh, there's not much competition over here. I have this little marketing insight. I can go over here and focus on this right now. Now, being a boss sounds great, but you've got to realize a couple things first, okay? Realize if you want to be your own boss, be ready to grind like you've never grinded in your life, okay? But the good news is a lot of times when you're out there and you're being your own boss and you can see the results coming, a lot of times that grind is so worth it and it doesn't even feel like work, okay? Because you're out there doing your own thing rather than working for someone else, okay? But you got to be ready to put in the time. If you think this is just going to be some easy thing, some lollygag thing, and you're just going to make tons of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year, and you're just going to put in very little effort and get all this out, like that's not the way the game works, okay? That is not the way the game works. You've also got to be ready to adapt to everything, okay? Realize that the business plan you came up with, realize with that initial idea, it's probably not the best idea, okay? You're probably gonna have to adapt it. You're probably gonna have to change your strategy up. You've gotta be willing to adapt. If you don't adapt and you're trying to be a boss, you're gonna get eliminated real quick. When I started my real estate marketing company, oh my gosh, I had to change almost everything from my approach of the entire business, from the approach of how I would contact customers, to how I was, the lack of contacting customers, how I would send emails to potential customers, how I would price. I had to literally change everything across the board from what I initially thought it would be. You've got to be willing to do that because my business results weren't there, okay? My business results were not there. I had to change, I had to adapt, I had to adapt. You've got to be ready to adapt if you want to really be a boss out there. And the last part is, I'll tell you guys out there, is you want to be a boss, you better be ready to do things you are scared to do, okay? You've got to be ready to do things you're scared to do. There are going to be situations you're in that you're not the most comfortable in, okay? I did things in my real estate marketing company, like I had to get in front of this entire group of like 30 realtors and whatnot. I hate public speaking. I know that sounds weird, but this is just me and the camera talking and tens of thousands of people that will watch this video down the road, right? But in terms of there's actual physical people here, I get nervous from that. I hate that. I had to go out there and do it, okay? I hate, cold calling, emailing and whatnot, or cold calling and stuff like that. I had to do that stuff, okay? I hate even having to be like a salesperson and trying to really get a job and sell myself really hard. I had to do it, okay? You've got to be willing to do things that you were scared to do before that. If you aren't ready to make those sacrifices, once again, you're gonna get eliminated, okay? Because somebody else is gonna make that sacrifice and they're gonna take that money right out of your hands. The third piece of advice I would give to all millennials out there is make sure you invest in yourself before you invest a dime in anything else. Invest in yourself. It will always give you a far better ROI down the road than if you invest in whether we're talking about stocks, whether we're talking about real estate, whether we're talking about crypto or bonds or commodities, gold, silver. I don't care what investment you're talking about. It is far better to invest in yourself first and foremost. The ROI you can get from yourself is insane, okay, compared to what you can get in everything else. So you've got to be willing to get that knowledge out there, okay? I know Ty Lopez kind of ruined the word knowledge now because he uses it in all those ads all the time, but it's the truth, guys. Knowledge is key, okay? Knowledge of business practices, of investing and things like that. But one of the things that annoys me the most out there is when I receive an email from somebody, when I receive an email to my personal email that you can literally only get from if you purchase one of my products, okay, which is one of my stock market products. I'll get emails from people sometimes, and this is so frustrating. And they'll say, Jeremy, I messed up. I got in this stock, I'm doing this and that. And I'll email them back and I'll say, well, what about this? Did you look at this? And they have no idea what I'm even talking about because they never even watched the product I have. They started investing and they didn't even have the base fundamentals. They don't even know really what a balance sheet is. They didn't even focus on any of the stuff that you actually need to focus on, the knowledge to get you that place. They just want to try to get money real quick and invest. And that's not the way this works, guys. You got to have the knowledge beforehand before you get in something to have success, okay? And then get the experience. Get the knowledge first, then get the experience, then get the gains, okay? That's the process. Not, oh, let me just jump in and start throwing money toward whatever it is, stocks, real estate, whatever. Let me just start throwing money over here and hope it goes up, and then it doesn't go up and you realize, crap, maybe I should have learned the base fundamentals of all this stuff first. Maybe I should have got the knowledge first before I started just investing all over the place. Get the knowledge, guys. The knowledge is going to pay you back, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 times over. Get the knowledge. Be ready to, read everything possible. Be ready to learn from those who are successful. Do that, and then the ROI is going to be insane down the road. The fourth big money advice I would give to every single millennial out there, and this one is probably my favorite of all of them, and it is quit getting advice from broke people. Oh my gosh, this is like an epidemic. See, we come up into the world and we don't get much financial advice out there. We don't get much financial education. The school system really lacks it, okay? So you grow up, from the time you're born to the time you're 18, and you get almost no real financial education out there, okay? I named this channel Financial Education for a reason. You don't really get any financial education. So, who do you have to search for, in your life if you want to get any type of financial advice, financial education, things like that, learn things? Usually you have to get them from your family members, the people that are around you. Well, the chances are your family members are broke. The chances are your family members are barely getting by. They're either broke people or they're people barely getting by. I highly doubt there are many people watching this right now that your parents are filthy rich, okay? And they taught you everything. They taught you all the routes. So many of you guys are getting advice from your uncle. Your uncle might be a great guy, but guess what? He's probably broke as a joke, okay? Or he's probably barely getting by, and you're getting, financial advice from that guy. Or you're getting, your mom tells you this, or your dad tells you this, or your dad says, don't open a business, you can get destroyed in that. Your mom says, don't invest in stocks, you can get hurt by that or whatever. You listen to these people, guess what? Your mom and dad are probably lovely people. They're probably also broke or barely getting by, like barely middle class type people, right? If you're watching this video, there's a good chance of that. Because if you're watching this video and your parents are rich and loaded, why are you even watching this? They probably already gave you the whole blueprint strategy, okay? So stop listening to them. If you got on the basketball court, okay, you get on the basketball court with me, and you're on one side of the court and I'm on the other side, and I'm shooting shots, and I'm just bricking them, man. I can't hit a shot for anything, and that's real life, like too. I can't shoot for crap. So you're watching me on the, from the other side of the court, and you're just like, damn, that guy sucks at basketball. He can't hit a shot for anything. And then I go and I look down there and I see you miss a shot. And so I run down the court and I say, hey man, you're not shooting that right. Here's how you need to shoot it. You need to put your hands like this and whatnot. Would you listen to me for a second? No, that would be so ignorant for you to listen to me. You're like, dude, you're bricking shots worse than I am. Why am I going to listen to you? That's the thing, guys. You've got to stop listening to these broke people. You've got to start, understand that there's so many opinions that are going to be thrown at you. Okay, I get, you don't even realize how many people have an opinion on what I should do out there. Family members, friends, all these type of things. Opinions. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should put money in this stock. If you understood like how my life is, like how many people throw things at me, and the majority of those people are broke, okay? So would it be very smart for me to listen to them? Would it be very smart, guys? I'm like the 1% of the 1% for people in my age bracket. Would it be smart for me to listen to people that have far less money than me when they're not even good at the money game? That's probably not the smartest thing, guys. So don't do it. The fifth money tip I would give to every single millennial and just person out there in general is realize that making your money into money is the holy grail. Let me explain this for a second, okay? See, income, okay? Your income, however much money you make in a month or a week or whatever, okay? That can be very inconsistent. It can seem consistent sometimes until it isn't. And then it can go to zero really quickly, okay? Let's say you play in the NFL, okay? You play in the National Football League, which could also stand for the Not For Long League, okay? So you're in the NFL, and you're making $2 million a year. You could literally go from $2 million a year in income to zero in one season. One season. You go from making $2 million a year to making nothing. Like that, okay? You know how many people before the financial crisis happened, in 2008, you know how many people in 2007 made $500,000, $750,000, $1.2 million from their mortgage business or whatever it is, okay? Or from banking or whatnot. You know how many people, real estate agents and whatnot, that were just making money at that time? You know how many people went from making that to making a goose egg the next year in 2008? A dramatic amount of people, okay? Not even just them, people that are making $50K a year, $50,000 a year, $30,000 a year, that all of a sudden got laid off from their company because their companies were just doing layoffs left and right. They went from making, $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $70,000 a year to making zero overnight, okay? That's income. That's an income game. However, this NFL player, if let's say he's got $2 million in real estate, okay? He's got $2 million in real estate properties. Let's just say that's his home. That's what his home's worth. And he's also got $2 million in stocks, all right? He's got $2 million in stocks. He's got $2 million in real estate, which is his home. Guess what? That's still gonna be there, okay? He goes from making $2 million a year to nothing a year. He's still got that $2 million in real estate. He's still got that $2 million in stocks, okay? Unless maybe that year, the stock market happened to go down a ton and real estate happened to go down a ton. So what's he got? Maybe 1.5 million here now and 1.7 million or whatever? It's not the end of the world, right? This is why this is important. Wealth, okay? Making your money into money is so important because that's what sticks with you, okay? Income's gonna fluctuate. Income's gonna fluctuate a lot, okay? And it's not like stocks where stocks could go, like this and like it's a little roller coaster type thing. As far as like income goes, it can go like this and then that. in a very quick amount of time, okay? So income's super important, but understand the Holy Grail is making your money into money and the compounding effect and whatnot. This football player, unless he has a ridiculous lifestyle, if he owns his house outright, his $2 million house, he's got $2 million in stocks. Like I said, unless his lifestyle is ridiculous, he could probably be good on that for the rest of his life, okay? For the rest of his life, and he could be 30 years old or whatever, okay? But you got to make your money into money, and you got to build up that wealth, because wealth sticks with you, okay? Wealth can fluctuate as well, but the chances your wealth goes from up here to zero overnight or in any quick amount of time, unless you got, you put everything in one stock, or you put everything in one real estate property or something, and somehow that, just fell through the floor. Unless you're in that situation, man, money sticks with you. Make your money into money. It's so important. I hope these 5, money advice tips just help you guys out tremendously, all you millennials out there. Anybody that watched this and is not a millennial, let me know in that comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. Any millennials out there, let me know what your opinion is on this. Let me know what your favorite one was down there in that comment section. I enjoy reading it. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day. Follow me on Instagram, link in the description.